Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, where we have conversations with diverse people and organizations impacting lives positively. In addition, we use the platform to celebrate people, events, and positive news. Yes, I am Dr. Kemi Akiode Adebayo, known as Dr. Mama K. And in today's program, to share a story is the fashionista, caring, and kind Sanette Smit. She is the owner, I need to get it right. Franchisee. Oh no, yeah,
very
English. Big word, really. Franchisee of Torga Optical Plumstead, which is based in Cape Town, South Africa. Don't mind me, Sanette. I know those big words sometimes. I'm like, franchisee, oh gosh,
exactly.
Names. How are you today? Let's start with that.
I'm very good, and you?
I'm very well, and I can see, I said you're a fashionista, and you proved that already today.
Thank you.
The earring, the pearl, the rings. Wow.
You're not doing too bad.
I'm not doing too bad myself, okay?
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. Who is Sanette? Where did Sanette grow up? Education, siblings, anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, so I grew up in the Free State, in the middle of South Africa, where it gets the coldest in the winter, unlike Cape Town, not so cold. So I grew up in a small town called Heilbron,
okay,
right in the northern Free State, and I went to school there. I matriculated there, and then I went to study optometry at, which was then RAU, Randse Afrikaanse Universiteit,
right.
which is now University of Johannesburg.
Okay.
Because at that stage, that was 1989. That was, you could only study optometry at UJ or University of Durban Westville. So there wasn't much of a choice.
I see.
So I went to Johannesburg and I studied optometry there and finished in 1992. And then I started working in Queenstown in the Eastern Cape.
Right.
I had a bursary with a company called Mellon's Eye Style, and they send you off to wherever they needed somebody, which was Queenstown at that stage. So I lived in Queenstown for 3 years, and then I moved back to the Free State. And then I lived there for another 10 years, being an optometrist, still with Mellon's. And then I moved to Pretoria after I got divorced.
Okay.
Moved to Pretoria, and I bought a Torga Optical franchise there.
Oh, so you actually started Torga in Pretoria?
In Pretoria,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
And then I moved down to Cape Town, and I've had my practice now 10 years on the 1st of June.
That's 10 years
in Cape
this
Town.
year for Cape Town. But before that, in Pretoria?
I had that practice for 6 years.
6 years,
yes.
Wow. Okay, before we go on to the practice, I want to go back to life growing up. How was life growing up for you?
Well, I mean, like I said, I grew up in a very small town. I mean, the high school had at that stage 300 children.
Right.
So lots of children were from the farms. So very small town, no movies.
So you're a farm girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
No restaurants, no major shopping places. I think there was a Fashini's in town, and what we called a Handelshuis, which was like a general dealer.
Right.
And they had like groceries and a little bit of clothes and but yeah, like really small town. So we did things with the school, sport, culture. I played tennis, I played netball. I'm not the best singer, so I didn't. Don't
worry, you're not the only one.
I didn't sing in the choir. That was not for me.
Not for you.
But I did debate, and then so what you might do in a small town, we had parties at people's houses where you would socky, and that's more what we did.
So as a South African, obviously, born in the Free State and bred, there, what are you mostly proud of as a South African?
I think the fact that we always make a plan to get something done. Like in Afrikaans, they say a boer maak 'n plan.
Okay.
So, like
whatever it takes.
And that's like the whole country. Whatever it takes, we make a plan to work it out. If it doesn't happen, if the government doesn't make it happen, or the local authorities, or the what, we just make a plan and we do it. Done. And I think that's quite unique. Of South Africa.
Very, very unique. Yeah. And I agree. I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, you're right. It's about making a plan to get the things done. Yeah. So now let me go back to your career. Why did you decide to become an optician? Why did you decide on this career?
So that's actually quite an interesting story. So I started wearing glasses when I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
And then in those days in Heilbronn there wasn't an optometrist. So we had to always go through to the World Triangle to have my eyes tested at an ophthalmologist those days. So then the lady that started Torga Optical, her name was Torga Buchanan. She opened a satellite practice in Heilbronn, and she just came through every second week for the afternoon. So I went and had my eyes tested there. And then when I was in about grade 10, I wanted to do contact lenses, but those days they had to get the contact lenses from overseas. You know, it wasn't like all disposables and this and that. So I would go there regularly because she'll test me, and then I go back in a month's time. We try the trial lenses, it doesn't work, you know the story. And go again in a month's time, try new trial lenses. Then eventually the lenses work, but you still need your glasses. I'll never forget, I took my glasses in for an adjustment. She broke them in half because she was like, finished a year just out of varsity, didn't have much experience, broke my glasses in half. 2 weeks later, go back again, go get the glasses. So I went there regularly. So I think that's what sparked my interest.
Right.
And then when I applied for university at that stage, they only took in 40 people for optometry. So I said, okay, if I don't get in for optometry, I will do chartered accountant because I was very good with figures as well. And then I got in for optometry, so there we are. Okay. And now 30 years later, I am sitting with the Torga Optical. And that practice in Heilbronn was one of the first practices that she started.
I was going to say, then meet it, because I don't know the history behind what Torga is. I just know Torga the name, but is she still alive?
No, she passed away. I think probably about 12 years ago, quite at a young age, more or less my age. I'm turning 54 this year, and she passed away of cancer. So unfortunately, very lovely lady.
So now you working for someone before, and then taking the step to start your own practice, as an entrepreneur. Even though, like you said, you started first in Pretoria, and then coming to Cape Town. I even want to know why Cape Town? Did you just go there, or was there a reason? But so why did you take that leap from an employee to being an employer?
Well, one of the big reasons is I tend to be always late. So if I were to work for somebody, they would fire me probably within the first week.
No wonder we get on well.
Just out of a practical point of view, to put that out there. That's why I'm never cross when somebody's late. Look, I mean, like really, if you're late, don't worry about it. We'll make a plan to accommodate you.
I'm learning from you now about that, so I need to declare that upfront.
And for me, a time is like, who decided it's this time now? Who's that guy that made that decision? But anyway, so I'm just somebody that likes to make my own decisions and take responsibility for what I do. If the times that I did just work for somebody, you put in everything anyway, so you might as well put in everything for yourself. It just gives you a bit more freedom.
So what services do you provide at Torga Optical in Plumstead?
So we do full eye examinations, like yourself, the whole.
She is my optician. If you haven't got that by now, she is my optician, and we've been on this journey for a while. And then of course we see if you need anything. Not everybody needs glasses, so people always think they have to. If we say you need an eye examination, they would say, "Oh, but I can see clear." So it's not just about if you can see clear; it's about the health of your eyes. So the big thing is to do the health check. And then if you do need any correction, we provide spectacles or contact lenses, sunglasses, everything that you can do in a script and without a script for you to see better. But mainly also to make sure people's eyes are healthy, so that you prevent getting to a point where there's permanent damage or eye diseases that you don't even know about that leads to blindness. I haven't even finished, but I'm thinking I want to go more into, especially because my journey, with my eyes, I want to have a follow-up with you where we actually go into the depth, of how to look after your eyes, what to do, what not to do, because like you said, you started wearing glasses at the age of 10. Is it because of what's the word, the situation, I don't know whether TV, we always say TV affects, when I was growing up, don't stand in front of the TV, it will spoil your eyes.
Yeah.
Those were the things my parents used to say.
Yes.
But now we have kids as old as
They sit
1 year old on the
all the
phone,
time.
know how to do that on
All
the screen.
the time.
So I would
Yes.
want to have that
Yeah.
in-depth conversation. We can do that on this
Yes.
one. But I'm already agreeing with you that it's okay to come back and do
Yes,
that. Okay.
yeah,
So what brought you to Cape Town? Why did you decide to come to Cape Town? And how has that journey been an optician, for you?
So, like I said, I had the practice in Pretoria, and I lived in Pretoria for 9 years. And that's a complete different lifestyle from the Free State, of course, and from Cape Town. So I was just thinking long term, and I thought to myself, okay, so do you want to live in Pretoria till you retire? Because, starting a new practice every time takes time, and to get it off the ground and to get clients and whatnot. So, I don't want to move when I'm 60 years old and then start a practice then. So thinking long term, if I don't want to live in Pretoria for the rest of my life, it would be a good time to look out. But I was never crazy about Cape Town, because I would come I could never understand that people live here, because I would come for a long weekend whenever, and then it would just let's say rain the whole bloody weekend. Shouldn't have used that word. Anyway, I always thought the weather was so bad. When you live in the Free State or when you live in Pretoria, if it's summer, it's summer. If it's winter, it's winter. You don't have to wonder what you should pack or whatever. It's straightforward. So I could never understand. And I had this one client, he's a lawyer, and he used to travel a lot. So he would be here 1 week of the month and 3 weeks in Pretoria, because his elderly mother lived here. Okay. And the firm had 2 branches here and there. And he used to come every year. He wore contact lenses. And then he would say to me, he's thinking of making the change, 3 weeks in Cape Town, 1 week in Pretoria, and so. And then I always used to say, I should actually look into it, because long term, where do you want to retire, whatever. And I don't know, something just clicked, that I realized one day. But you know what, if you're working, it doesn't always matter what the weather is, if it's now nice weather or not.
Correct. Yeah.
Because you're at work most of the time, but then when you want to do things, it's beautiful. In Pretoria, it's literally just traffic. You can go to movies, and you can go to restaurants, and you can go shop. That's what there is to do in a city like Joburg or Pretoria. So if that's your thing, great. But growing up, that I grew up in the Free State, I like shopping, don't get me wrong.
If you're a fashionista, you love shopping.
It's not the be all and end all, but anyway. So then I decided, okay, and then that he came in again for a consultation, and he said he sold his house, and he's now moving down to Cape Town, and he's only going to come back. And I said, you know what, I'm going to now really start making a plan. I said that for about 3 years. Right. And then it just gave me that motivation, and I started looking. And so weird as it is, a week later, this practice was up for sale.
Wow.
And they phoned me at head office, and they said, we heard you are looking for it. You want to move? I said, yes. And I literally came down, and within 2 weeks I had to sign the papers. And I bought the practice. Wow. And then I sold my house only after that, and the other practice after.
Wow. Interesting. So what have been some of the challenges for you as an entrepreneur? And how have you managed to overcome them?
Well, that's quite a good question. I don't want to say I didn't have a lot of challenges.
No, but it's okay. It's okay if you don't.
No, I think it depends on it depends on how you think about it. That's what I say. I think just the way I grew up, you kind of, that's life. If things doesn't go your way, it's not necessarily for me a challenge. Maybe I just don't think about it.
No, I love that perspective.
I just take it head on
and just handle it. And like you said, make a plan.
Yes, make a plan. So I guess there is challenges, but obviously one thing is finances, because it's in the health industry, it's very difficult nowadays to borrow money if you want to open up a practice, or you need to buy equipment. And that's quite a problem in our industry, because young people that finish with their degree that comes out into the market, they don't get to borrow money because the banks just don't want to lend their money. So us that's older, if you want to sell your practice, it's getting quite difficult because of finance. So that's definitely a problem, yeah. So, and then the other thing for us also, I'm fortunate here in Plumstead, we only open 5.5 days a week.
Right.
But most optometrists nowadays are on big malls and they open 7 days a week. So you're not necessarily working 7 days a week, but you have to have staff that work 7 days a week. And I mean, if you don't have an optometrist every day, it's kind of a waste to have a store open but no optometrist that can test. So that's a big challenge nowadays, is working hours. Yeah.
Right, but you make a plan, as well, like you said.
That's why you have to work for yourself.
Exactly.
Then you can at least navigate that to the best of your ability. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, we're going to have a quick break and we'll be right back. Wow, Sanette, so born and bred in the Free State, grew up on the farm, in the town, village, and from age 10, that got you into, you using the glasses and interested or fascinated, I believe, by that career, and you started your own franchisee in Pretoria. Or franchise, you see, I'm getting a franchisee.
Very confusing.
English, huh?
Very confusing.
Very confusing.
I'm Afrikaans, so I also find it confusing, So we're on the same page here.
Thank you, thank you. So you started that and then came to Cape Town, which obviously the timing was perfect. This, Plumstead franchise was available at the time, and then the journey, making a plan, like you said, no matter what challenge, and navigating yourself through that. So now let me go on to you now. So what are the 3 things for you that you will say means a lot to you personally? I know there'll be more than 3, but your top 3.
Yeah.
And why?
So, we see a lot of elderly people in this area. It's just Plumstead has got a lot of elderly people. So I know when you're young, not that I'm old now, but when you're really young.
I know, right? We're very old, still young, you're not 50s.
Old people will say, oh, but your health is so important. Then I would think, so same old story, But as like me that works with really elderly people every day, and as I'm getting older in my 50s, I realize how important it is to have good health.
Right.
Because if you don't have health, you have nothing. Your quality of life is so poor. You can have everything else. You can have money, you can have friends, you can have family, you can have a beautiful house, you can have whatever. If you're not healthy, none of that is really enjoyable, because it just cramps down your whole lifestyle, what you can do, what you can
And nobody can be sick for you. That's why I always tell people. Nobody can be ill for you. You can't pass it down to say, you have an headache. I have an headache. Take my headache. No,
so health for me is, as I get older now, very, very, very important.
Okay, and another 2?
And another one, I would say my mom is very important in my life. Definitely, I've got a very close relationship with my mom, and my stepdad passed away a few years ago, so she's also by herself. So we do a lot of things together, and so on. And my mom is very important, so always there, just a phone call away, so that's also a privilege, which you shouldn't take that for granted at all, definitely,
and another one,
I am a big animal lover.
Okay.
So I
any particular animal or anyone?
Dogs.
Okay.
Other animals too, but I would
have the dogs.
A farm with 500 dogs.
Really?
Easy.
So how many do you have at the moment?
I've only got 4 left at the moment. I used to have 6. Wow. Small little ones.
What kind?
Dachshund. Those long sausage
I know them.
Yes.
All of them.
All of them.
Why?
I just love them. They are just, with Dachshunds, it's like you either love them or you hate them. So people that's got Dachshunds, they always have more than one. It's like, for some reason, you can't get enough.
But you now have 3, 6, 9. I'm not a dog lover. I love them from afar.
Yes. No, I love them.
I'm one of those ones, you have to put your dog away for me to come with.
No, I'm one of those. I love them.
No, I appreciate you like
Yes.
that. I really
But
do.
other animals too, but especially dogs. I do love dogs.
That's awesome. So now let's go on to what keeps you going. Why do you wake up in the morning to do what you're doing? And you know, with the elderly, and obviously people like us who are young as well, and as well with your mom, and what keeps you going, and your dogs. What motivates you as a person?
Well, for me, it's definitely, I think God has put me on earth for a purpose. So you have to live that every day. And yeah, I mean, out of a practical point of view, somebody's got to bring in the money to pay the bills, you know. So that's enough motivation, as is just out of a practical, besides all the nice la-di-da stuff of what motivates you, that's definitely a motivator, because if you want to have a house to live in, and you want to eat, and you want to have animals, you have to work to get an income. I'm not married, I'm divorced, like I said to you now. So there's no other income where I can live off, so I just have to work. Okay, good. But I'm very fortunate that I can. So I'm not complaining. Sometimes I'm a little bit complaining, you know, but generally, I mean, I do realize that I am very fortunate, and I appreciate it. So so that's out of a practical point of view. But like I say, also just to make a difference, you know, to not just necessarily, obviously, with my service for people to see, but also just to make an impact on people's life, even the people that you work with in the shopping center, going to Pick and Pay or whatever, just to be. Just to make a bit of a brightness in somebody's day. Okay. I think that also just gives you a bit of a purpose in life, you know.
So for you now, what has been your greatest achievement with Torga Optical franchise, whether be it in Pretoria or here? What have you been mostly proud of? Either a success story within your practice or anything else?
Yeah, I think also to get back to success, and combined with what you say, what I'm proud of is, with me being here 10 years now, so obviously you have quite a few patients that come back regularly every second year. So I mean, that's a measure of success, because if people there's so many places you can go. I always say to my clients, when you come back to me, I really appreciate it, because you can go anywhere. True. There's optometrists around every corner.
Correct.
And the fact that people are loyal and they want to come back to you, for me, is something that I'm proud of, because that my name is, for me, very important. And that's always something that I also say that comes from my Free State upbringing, living in a small town. If you don't stick with your word, if your word means nothing, people know it very quickly in a small town. So that's important. You know, in a big city, it's not that's such a big thing. But having that for me, that's important, and that's why I really appreciate it. And that's an achievement for me if people come back regularly, because they value my service and my expertise.
Okay, you know what? We'll stop for a break to just see some of the pictures from what Torga Optical Plumstead is about. Wow. In the previous segment, I love the way you defined, success, that, it depends on what season in your life you're in. And obviously as well, for you, what motivates you is God. I'm a God believer myself, and I believe so much in, we're all placed in here for a purpose. Saying happiness is success, for you. And it's a choice, as well, and I love the way you were saying accountability, a leader, the qualities, you need to have as a leader. So obviously in there, you've already shared some kind of lessons, I think that you've learned along the way. So I wanted to just maybe give a more of key life lessons that has worked for you, as an entrepreneur, or even just growing up, or even as a daughter, who feels responsible for. How old is your mom, by the way?
My mom is 73.
Oh, 73.
But she's still a spring chicken.
Very spring chicken. Spring chicken. No wonder you do things together.
Yes,
So, what are some of the life lessons? And even a divorcee, has been there, done that.
Yes.
What are some of the life lessons that you will maybe give a younger Sanette to say, 10-year-old Sanette, don't do that. I'm afraid. Don't do that. Okay, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Can you just share with us?
Yeah, I think the big thing that I've learned in my life, or how my life has been going, is if you want something to happen, you must make it happen yourself.
Right.
Nobody is going to make it happen for you. Some people are lucky and somebody else makes something happen for them. For me, it didn't work that way. When I finished with school, my stepfather just lost all his money in his business, so there was no money for me to go and study. So I had to get a bursary, or otherwise it wasn't happening. So I was fortunate enough to get a bursary, which long term cost me, because I had to work back for the company, and there was a lot of male chauvinism in that company. There was a lot of tears, crying. But I got my education regardless of the price I had to pay later. So my point is, I had to make it happen for myself. Nobody made it happen for me. And I think if you can just get that, the younger you are, the better. To get that thing is, go out there and make stuff happen for yourself. Don't wait for other people. Don't wait for the government or your parents or your husband or whoever. Just make it happen yourself. If you get any help along the line, fantastic.
Right.
But just with anything, just go and do it and make it happen.
I love that. I love that.
And work.
You keep repeating that word. Work. And it is important.
Very few people are so lucky to not have to work and just everything falls in their lap. It looks like it nowadays if you look on social media and whatnot. But
and then they're the ones who want to do the work, but they can't find the work. For whatever reason.
Yes,
so there's that group of people as well, which it's interesting.
But at least you're still better off if you want to work and you can't find work than somebody that doesn't want to work, because they will never find work.
Exactly.
So at least
I like that
with the right attitude, your chances are a lot better.
I love
Definitely.
that.
But that is difficult.
And that's important for young people to know that. And I hope you young people, you're listening and you heard that. That is deep. And that is really, really important.
But I mean, I can think it is. I mean, I was lucky when I had a bursary. So I worked I started working in grade 10 when I was in school. I started working in the pharmacy. Every Saturday, every holiday. Because my mom believed you don't spoil your kids. She doesn't raise that way. So if you wanted pocket money, you had to work. So I worked every Saturday, every holiday. Then when I got the bursary in my first year, I worked every holiday. June, July holiday 4 weeks. December, January, those days the holidays weren't as long as they now. 6 weeks, the whole holiday. Right through my varsity.
And you earned money, no matter how much.
Yeah, not a lot, but I had money to spend. I could buy clothes, I could be a fashionista. Anyway, but so the thing is, like I say, what I wanted to say, so I can understand, so I had a job immediately because I had a bursary, because I had to work it back.
Yes.
But I can understand that it must be very frustrating if you maybe just studied or whatever and you got the qualification and you can't find a job. Definitely, but you just have to persevere. I always say, what's the other choice?
And I liked what you said there, and because our audience is mostly Africans, not just South Africa, but across Africa, from Ghana to Nigeria to Malawi to, and one thing you just said there for me, that at grade 10, you started working because your mother believed that you have to earn it. And I think that is missing, right now in the way we bring up the young ones in Africa overall. Some people are doing it, but some are not doing it, because it's allowing me, because I've been exposed to leave and work, and I've been blessed, I think that's the word, to live and work after I left Nigeria in the UK, in South Africa and in US. So I try and pick, from each country, what are the good and what are the bad. And for me, the UK one that stood out because I was there for a long time, and I'm British as well because of my husband. So what stood out for me is I used to see young kids doing newspaper runs. During holidays. And my nephew actually did that, as well, And initially, a mother was not so worried because she's like you in terms of you make a plan. There's no challenge, make a plan. I don't want to pay mortgage, you can, so my kids didn't. But I got them to work though with me with my charity, but I didn't pay them. Sorry if you're listening.
But at least they got some work ethic,
Exactly, because that has helped them now in their work ethics where they can work all hours. It's not their job, but they put in 200% because they did that, with my charity. They work with my charity, and sometimes we're working up till 2 a.m. 3. If we need to do it, we need to do it. But they got paid anyway in holidays and so on. I did pay that. So you're right. So maybe we need to, in Africa, start sending out that message to fathers, mothers, aunties, uncles, to start encouraging children where it's safe. I think that's one of the problems now.
It is a problem.
The safety now, because a lot of parents, don't want, and I get it.
Understand.
And I get it. But maybe we need to start thinking, what other things in this day of technology? What can they do digitally?
They've got other
instead
options
of
there that
just
we
playing, on the phone. Because parents put their children on the phone to watch things. So what other things can we do now to embrace this season? So that way they start knowing. Anyway, okay, me and you
so
can
they've
talk.
just got a different mindset and a different way of looking at it, to look for opportunity. That's the big thing. Because so I worked in school, like I say, but even after, since I've been an optometrist, I've always been doing something. At some stage, I sold jewelry on the side. I would sometimes
side hustle, as we'll call it. When I did all that as well.
I can make clothes. I made clothes for the ladies in my race, for extra money. So all sorts of things. You must just look for opportunity and try and do something. The big thing is just to have that mindset of keeping your eyes open and look for opportunity, even if it doesn't come straight away. Have an openness for it, because if you're not open for it, you won't find it. That's what I believe.
I love that. Okay, I know me and you talk, and I've been told we need to wrap up. Okay. So we will work on that now, but already I'm asking for a part 2 where we want to go through how to look after your eyes and all those things. What do you do? Contact lenses. Because I even struggle to put contact lenses in, and I've been a bad patient, I know, over the years. Thank you for your patience in this place. So,
it's our pleasure.
So my final question is, because the work we do a lot of work, regarding, addressing poverty, unemployment, teenage pregnancy, a lot of social issues. For you, what are the social issues, or maybe one social issue that you think more needs to be done about, whether it's you or the government or other people? And what are the solutions? Just briefly, because I know, we don't know all the answers. So what are you passionate about that you would want something to be done about? And what are the solutions?
For me, something that has been standing out lately, it's been coming on a long time, but I think there's just been a lot of stuff in the news lately, is just children abuse. Terrible children abuse. Like I say, maybe there's just been a few cases that's been in the media a lot, but it's I'm getting goosebumps just talking to you, because that's really, I think, I don't know if it's just that we know about it more because it's more in the news,
more now,
or if it's getting worse.
It's getting worse. Because I work in that space. It's getting worse.
And
so what would you think?
What's the solution.
You don't know.
I don't know. I try to wrap my head around it, to where does this all start? Does it start from the parents' upbringing? I was actually thinking about it this morning again. Were they brought up with that kind of violence that they transfer? I don't know.
It's a mixture of both.
It's because I can't think for myself now, even if you are how poor or whatever your circumstances might be, why you would hit a child to death. There was that one case now in Stellenbosch, I don't know if you know about it, that 6-year-old boy.
I don't read, sorry, I'm in the media, but I don't watch the news anymore. Because if not, I will be afraid or I'll be upset, or so I only watch good news. I know I need to know what is happening, but you know, like what you're saying, it used to upset me. You know,
because
you know, 6-year-old, a 3-year-old girl, you know, being raped because of a cultural belief, or you know, it's just so sickening. Some of it. So
So for me, that's really something.
No, but going back to the solution, and maybe based on some of the conversation we've had with some of the people, and a lot of people have picked on that. And one of the things I know a lot of people have said, you know, is the foundation, you know, needs to be we need to go back to the foundation, those family values. You know, like what you said, is it because maybe that child or that older person now has experienced it and is now doing the same but then it doesn't justify.
But it doesn't justify. It doesn't make it right.
I was, you know, my parents, you know, especially my dad, God bless his soul, is late now, he used to beat, you know, us, like he would tell you, I will smack you, I'll beat you with a cane, and I'll take you to the hospital myself. He used to say that to the extent. And even hearing that, I was afraid. But that made me make a decision never to touch my children.
Not to do that,
You know, I don't say, you know, we were naughty, I was naughty and all that. But we talked about it when he was older, that why did you used to do that anyway? And, you know, that made us afraid. Run away when you come in. That made us unsafe.
Because
and all that.
A child must feel safe.
I ran. Actually ran. That's a story for that. I ran away from home one day. But when he got to an older stage, he regretted it. So that was what he knew. You know? But that made me, before even I had children, to say, you know what? I'm not going to touch my kids. And I didn't. Until one day, though, that the older one. And I ran after him. That was when he was older. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then I remember, But there's a lot that needs to be done, you know, in terms of education and raising awareness. Because, sadly, the prison are showing it. The prison are full of people who have abused. But then, sometimes the prison, the justice system does not favor the victim.
It's ridiculous. That was my second point. That I think is a big part of the problem, because it's about accountability. I mean, there's the one guy, there's a white policeman. He just came out on parole now. He killed his three kids.
I read about that one. That one I heard on the news.
About 20 years ago.
I heard on the news.
And he got, I don't know how long, but he's out in 10 years. And his wife thinks, well, his ex-wife, she thinks because he did it to actually get to her. Because she wasn't impressing him. She didn't do what he wanted to. And she said, well, she doesn't know if he's going to come for her, but so be it. She's not going to keep quiet anymore. So I mean, where do you get 10 years if you kill 3 children? And that's never mind abuse. He just shot them. He didn't even abuse them, which I want to say is better, because it's better if you die, it's horrible to say it, once off, than being killed little by little and eventually you die. But it's equally worse. I mean, how do you?
No, it's a tough one. No, that needs more to happen.
The justice system is not at all.
Okay. We're wading too deep in that, but I think we need to talk about, and that's what this is about, and you know, sharing, and you know, even there's no solution, or we can come up with a solution, but hopefully we're educating and raising awareness of this. So thank you. It's been an amazing session. I'm definitely looking forward to coming back, and we salute you. We see you for all you're doing. Yourself and your team, Natasha, and all the other ladies. You know the lady before you that owned the place? She was my good friend as well.
Is that so?
We used to go to gym. We met at the gym. Yes.
Okay.
So so I have an history with
something new with you.
So thank you for what you're doing in the community, Plumstead, Constantia, and beyond, because I know you get clients from beyond the area, and I'm sure people even come from northern suburbs, and so on. And even my children, our sons now, they live in the UK, but they still come here. So
and I appreciate it. Like I said, I honestly
although it's cheaper for them, that's why.
I don't care. I still appreciate it. Yeah. So it's a win-win, for
it's
them and for me. So
it's a win-win. So we really thank you for all you're doing, and I did hide something, and I know it's going to be awkward to get it out here now. So we just want to share this, just to say we see you.
Thank you.
We celebrate you. And this is something just to thank you.
Thank you very much. You're so nice.
We make them.
Nice.
So if you want to make corporate ones, sorry, I'm giving you and I'm selling ourselves.
That's good. You might as well seize the opportunity. That's so nice. Thank you.
So if you want to make corporate gifts of key rings, clock, anything, that's a way to support the work we do.
Nice.
It goes back into our work, not to me. All the work we do in communities is to do that. So
thank you very much. That's such
when
a
you
lovely
take all
gift.
please.
Lovely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And it was nice seeing you. Not for an appointment.
I know, right? On that sense.
For a check. Now
for
we
a
know
check,
each
and
other. Well, not each other. You know me a lot better now, but
and what Sanette does, I need to even say this before we finish, and I need to say this right there, not to her, because I know she might not want me to say it, but I need to acknowledge and, appreciate her, is what she does each time I come here. And all my service providers who have become my friends and sister, from my gynae to my optician and my doctor as well, Dr. Goldberg. Yeah, I even dreamt about him one day, and I told him okay, what was it? I said, no, it's not a bad dream. So what Sanette did for me, one of the times, each time I come here, she'll first find out how you're doing. And she'll spend time, because you normally go to places and they're looking at the time because the next client is on. And I know what it's like, because it's money, their time is money. So, but she first you might not notice it, but she first, go through, how are you today, blah, 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 and I'm calm, and, she asks about me. And then I'm actually the one going, especially on the days that I have something else to do. Okay, I need to go. But it's very good. It's about relationship. And not only that, I think at one point I got a spectacle. So this is me giving a testimonial. I got a spectacle or glasses and so on. And I'm a difficult customer, for those who know me. Client, not difficult, but people go the extra mile, because I do that with anybody that's my client. So I expect people, who I, provide that service. And I was going to pay for the second frame, and she said, no, it's okay, it's your gift for, was it Christmas? Maybe you don't remember.
So. I remember.
You remember? Okay.
I still remember what the frame looked like.
You still remember what the frame? And you said, no, this is a gift for you, and this is not a cheap frame. And I'm being honest with you. Yes, some of you will go, no, but you've paid for that service already. For her even thinking and doing that, for me, just blew me away.
Yeah, so I just wanted you to bless you that day.
I know. I saw that.
That's
and I saw that. Yeah. And the blessing you've been, where you pass it on, I've passed it on in various ways, to other people.
All one can ask for.
So thank you, for that. And I see you, for blessing me. And, for always listening, when I come in here, and not just, taking it for granted, especially with my contacts. Woo! They're still on my case. I still can't put the contact lenses in. So maybe when I come in next, I'll demonstrate it to show you how, even my ophthalmologist complains that you're too, sensitive to anybody touching your eyes. So I'm sure I'm not the only one. So some of you out there, just find a good optician like Sanette, especially if you're in Cape Town, or if you come to Cape Town, if you come and visit from US, UK, you're going to get your money's worth. Trust me. So Cape Town is a beautiful place. So come and get your eyes done, tested, whatever you need to do. They look after the eyes completely. The health check that you need to do, they need to do that. Okay, all right. I could talk more and more. I could go on and on. But thank you for all you do, and I'll be back.
Thanks.
Because I know we've gone the time as well. And you need to sit patient, you need to make the money, you need to work.
Yeah.
So that's all we've got time for today, but it's been a great pleasure and humbling for me just to calm down and yes, hear a story. And I hope it has impacted you in whatever way. If you want to become an optician, if you want to find out more information, please reach out to them. They might not be able to talk to you, but or tell us. And yeah, we will just keep sharing the story and the news all day. All right, that's what we've got time for. Take care, stay safe, God bless, much love.
Bye.
Bye.